You got James coming in. So into the chat for me, please. What do we have to celebrate this week? What is it that you have got that has been successful for you? So I'm going to pop it in the chat. Hello, James. James's success, I think, will be popping his video into the community. That was awesome work. Great job. That's the way. So what do we have to celebrate this week? Pop it in the chat for me, please. And the reason that we do this is because we want to focus on things that have been really successful, because that helps us to get into a state of being able to take on board new information. So one of my favorite Tony Robbins quotes is that gratitude is the antidote to fear and depression. So if we're feeling kind of stressed or anxious or thinking about everything we've done today or everything that we have to do today, actually being grateful or celebrating is a great way to overcome that. So let's have a look. James, getting clearer on your niche and better at public speaking. Congratulations, James. Emma, this week celebrating getting into the final of a speaking competition. Oh, that's amazing. Well done. Unfortunately, I'm unable to attend the final. Never mind, you got in there. Had to give up your spot, but still a great success. Hopefully next time. That's brilliant. Well done, Emma. Badra, organised a meeting with your director for a catch-up. Fantastic. That's wonderful news. I love it. Excellent. All right. Who else have we got? Miguel, are you popping yours in the chat there as well for me? Fabulous. All right. So for those people who were here last week, let's see what your action was from last week. Did anybody complete their action step? Anyone have an action from last week? Just give me a little wave if you did, if you had an action from last week. I have to ask you, Sagrita, is that your actual background there, or is that a virtual background?
No, it's a virtual one.
Okay, because I would just be facing the other way and looking out that window all day if that was my background. It's so pretty. Oh, awesome.
I
Okay.
wish it was real.
That's me, for sure. I look out, like my window's behind the desk, but I look out onto the road, so it's not very
Oh, I
exciting.
have a
So,
window next to me,
yeah,
but
cool.
I only see his street across the road.
Yeah, it's not that exciting. Like I
No,
said, I'd be looking at that all day. Excellent. All right, so did anybody have any actions that they had last week or anything that they wanted to go over today? So we've got a little bit of content, but I wanted to give you guys the opportunity to ask any specific questions that you might have about speaking this week. Maybe you've got an event coming up, or you've got something that's happening in the speaking space that you might be a bit anxious about, or you'd like a tip on. So this is your opportunity to ask that question. So think about what that might be. And I'm also going to ask, who has an elevator pitch here today? Anybody have an elevator pitch?
well, I have the one that you helped me to.
Awesome. All right, Sigrita, I was waiting for you to say something. If you didn't say anything, I was going to volunteer you. All right, so an elevator pitch, for those people who don't know, is essentially a verbal business card. So a business card is something that, Indiana Jones used to use. We sometimes take those. This one's really quite battered. But the intention is it's a way for people to, it sparks interest. So if somebody's interested in what you do in your business, then you often will give them a business card. Now, if we are talking to somebody, a more powerful way than handing over a business card, which is probably going to go into the bin at the end of the day, is to tell them what you do. But the reason I use a business card as an example is what I see happening a lot is that people don't share what they do in this size. They do it in this size. See the difference? One sparks interest, the other one sparks yawns. Is that ever going to end? So what I'm going to do is get Sagrita to help me with this little exercise, and I'm going to ask her, what does she do? And she is going to reply,
I help recruitment agency founders and directors build visibility and authority on LinkedIn so they can attract ideal candidates dream clients and become the go-to agency in their niche.
Very nice, Sigriti. You've been practicing that. Excellent work. How does it feel? How does it feel?
Yeah, good, good. Thank you.
Fantastic. All right, so we know who she helps, what she helps them with, and what the outcome is. So, who would like an elevator pitch? Anybody like an elevator pitch? James, what about you? What do you do? Want to unmute yourself, James, and we can do
Mhm.
this little exercise together. So you're here to.
Yeah, I'm starting a counseling practice and
Okay.
I'm focusing on men and boys,
Mm-hmm.
uh, nice guys, the sort of people-pleasing men, so
Mm-hmm.
empowering men and developing their assertiveness.
Okay. So let's
And
break that down. So this is for
Mhm.
everybody. So follow along with and insert your own information. So when we're doing an elevator pitch, we want to do three things. First thing is, who do you help? People is not an answer. Specific people. So I help business owners and executives. That's who I help, business owners and executives. So who do you help? This I'm going to get everyone to do this, okay? Think about who you help and pop it in the chat when you've got it. James is going to be our live crash test dummy today. Has everybody got who they help? So James, who is it that you help? How would you describe?
Men, yeah, men and boys who
Not the who,
have.
just a type of person. So
Oh, okay.
remember, this size. It's got to be business card
Mm,
size. All right. So who do
yeah.
you help?
Men and
What
boys.
kind of men? What kind of boys?
Men who are struggling with
Still
conflict, avoiding conflict.
bringing it back, just the who. Just the who.
Mm,
So are they, and try and quantify, and I know this is can be really tricky, so I appreciate your playing
mm,
along here, James. Think about
mhm,
how you can select a particular market niche. And I'll give you an example. If you need to go and see a heart surgeon, or if you need to have heart surgery, you're not likely to go to a general practitioner for heart surgery, right? You're going
mhm,
to go and see a specialist in heart surgery because the specialist in heart
mhm,
surgery is going to be much better at looking after your heart, which is pretty damn important, right?
mhm.
So you want to go and see a specialist rather than a GP. Now, if you go to a GP and you go to a specialist, which one's going to charge you more money? The GP or the specialist?
The
The
specialist.
GP specialist, right? Okay. Why do they charge more money, James?
Because they have a specific niche that they've done extra study for.
Excellent. And you expect to pay more money for that specialist service, right? Now,
Mhm,
think about this, ladies and gentlemen. Let's imagine you're going to have heart surgery and your heart surgeon says to you, that's going to cost you $10, James.
mhm. That sounds
How
way too cheap.
confident would you be that your heart surgeon knows what they're doing?
Yeah, not very confident.
Not very confident at all. Do you want to pay the $10 heart surgeon or do you want to pay the $10,000 heart surgeon? You probably don't want to pay the $10,000 heart surgeon, but if you had a choice between the two, most people are going to go with the more expensive one. So it's a
Mm,
good way to illustrate to you how important it is to niche down, because if you niche down and you become a specialist in one space, people will pay you more for your services because this is business, right? We're talking about business speaking here. People will pay you more because you're a specialist. So for everybody now, think about who you're helping. So Sigrita, do you want to put yours in the chat because I know you've already done yours? Who you're helping. Badra, who do you help? You're on mute there, don't forget. Emma's getting her steps up. I'm quite
I'm
jealous.
helping. I'm helping for community offenders.
Community
Who,
offenders. Excellent.
yeah.
All right. So Badra is helping community offenders. That's a very specific niche. Fantastic. All right. And Sigrita, did you put yours in the chat there, or you can just unmute and tell me? So, James, coming back to you. Stop muting yourself, James. You're not off the hook yet. Who do you help? What kind of men? What kind of boys?
Men who lack confidence.
Okay, so unconfident men or boys.
Yeah. I thought maybe men's empowerment coach.
Yeah.
It's
So
just
we're
a-
rushing to the finish line without really being clear on what the end is. So let's just do it one at a time. So
Okay.
this is really common, and this is a whole day workshop, by the way. I'm just going to bring you guys into here. So we might find a different word for unconfident, but you're looking at that kind of group. And I suggest you start with men, because men and boys can be quite difficult. They're different spaces. So let's just specialize in one to start with and then move from there. All right? So you're going to help. We'll start with unconfident men. So Sigrita does recruitment agency founders and directors. So it's a very specific niche. Barbara does I want to say repeat offenders, but I know that's not what you said.
Community offenders.
Community offenders, is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, community offenders. Excellent. And Miguela, who do you help? You want to pop that in the chat for me? Emma says she doesn't help anyone yet as she's still studying. That's fantastic. And I want to know where you are, Emma, because the weather looks fabulous. Policy analyst work. Okay, cool. So we can work our way up to that for you, Emma, but just tell me where you are, please, because I've got envy. I'm looking at Emma out there walking in the sunshine. So she's clearly either in Europe, or it'd have to be Europe, because the UK is Europe or UK, because the US will be in bed. Awesome. Germany, fantastic. Sigrita, is that where you are? I'm not good at reading this.
Yeah, I'm in Constance in Germany. It's like on the southwest of Germany, next to the border of Switzerland.
Nice. So I've got
I'm in the UK, sorry.
UK. Gotcha. Okay.
It's very hot here.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to take your very hot and say I don't think so.
We have a heat wave, but we don't have air conditioners in our house.
But you've got a beautiful mountain in the background, so you're all set.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. Now we've got the who we help. So everybody's got who they help, right? The next step is, what problem do people have? What's the problem you help them with? So James, in your case, it might be men just as a group, and then it might be confidence, or describe the men that you work with there, James. What are their problems? Just the problem.
Lacking self-esteem.
Which means
Lacking
what?
self-worth. Yeah, low self-confidence. They don't put themselves forward. They avoid conflict.
Yep. Which
They-
means what? What's the problem that happens because they're avoiding conflict and they are not putting themselves forward? What do they miss out
They're
on?
not living authentically to who they really are.
Okay. So that's kind of airy-fairy. What problems, if I'm a man and I'm not living in my authentic self and I'm avoiding conflict, what's the cost to me?
You probably have poor relationships.
Right. Yep.
Women would be frustrated with you. You probably don't progress in your career. And you probably are treated less than ideally.
Okay, great. So struggling with relationships, poor career growth. Fantastic. All right. Can you see there the problems, everybody? So think about your audience. Barbara, what's your audience? What are their problems?
To make them suitable for the community.
So they're not suitable for the community currently, which means what are the problems that they've got?
They do driving offense or relationship, or they came out from the jail but is still not suitable for the community.
So if I've come out of jail, let's not this be a foretend of my future. So let's say I've come out of jail, never been in jail, just putting that out there for everybody. What are some of the problems I'm going to experience? So I've just walked out of jail. I'm assuming they've let me out. I haven't escaped. What are my problems?
So you don't have accommodation, correct accommodation. That means we are going to find out
Okay,
where you're
great.
going.
All right, so
Accommodation.
you
Yeah.
help find accommodation and employment.
Yeah, employment, shared food, cloth,
Food.
everything.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah,
So accommodation, employment, and basic necessities.
yeah.
Great. Excellent. So we've got our problems, all right? We already got their problems. So you've got who you help and what the problem is that you help with. Now we're going to go into the third stage. And the third stage is the solution or the transformation that you provide. So for example, James, you're helping men who are struggling with poor relationships, limited career growth, and missed opportunities. What's the outcome of working with you? What do they get as a result of working with you? So what's the transformation that you provide?
Healthier relationships, more satisfying career, and a more fulfilling life.
Okay, cool. All right. And Badra, am I saying your name right?
Yeah, Batra, yeah.
Great. Badra, what do you, if you're helping with accommodation, food, housing, what's the result for the people who are leaving their incarceration?
Yeah, most people within 1 year they are matched to the community. They are making, they have job, they have food and shelter, and they have good relationships. Yeah.
Okay, so they're able to rejoin society
Yeah.
and being it's kind of like it's rejoin society and be, I guess it's kind of successful about staying out of jail, isn't it? That's kind of
Yeah,
the ultimate
very,
outcome.
yeah, not need to do any expenses or government look after. But
Yep.
once come out, yeah, they have to look after themselves.
So is it kind of like rejoining society and living a happy life? Is that the goal?
Living independent life. I
Love
do.
that. Live
Yeah.
an independent.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right. So for you, Badra, it is going to be, so the who is, I'm sorry, tell me again, who do you help?
Community offenders.
Community offenders. So you help community offenders and their problem is you help community offenders access housing, housing, food, and employment so that they can live an independent life, rejoin society and live an independent life, right?
Yeah.
That's roughly it. Okay, let's put that together. Just remember, we want a business card size statement. All right. Is it just living independently or is there a slightly bigger goal there?
Normal means if they want, they can go very forward.
Yep.
Initially, we just start with independent. Yes, they can make their own money and their own place.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right, so I put it in the chat for you. I help community offenders access housing, food, and employment so they can rejoin society and live independently.
Yeah.
Okay, practice saying that out loud. Mute yourself first, and then we'll do James. All right, so James, who do you help?
I help men who lack confidence.
Okay, and what's the problem they have?
Poor relationships, lack of career growth, and well, yeah, just maybe a bit of a doormat. I don't know what the
Okay.
third one should be.
So I think probably if you're helping men with low self-esteem who are avoiding opportunities,
Mm.
does that make sense? Who are avoiding
Yep.
opportunities, and the transformation or the outcome is they are able, well, working with you, that what are they able to do? They're able to have
Yeah.
successful relationships.
Yes, more satisfying careers,
Yep.
more fulfilling life,
Great.
with more opportunities. Yeah, I'll link that back in somewhere as well.
Awesome. Okay. So let's see what we can do putting that together. So, Barbara, you ready to say yours?
Yeah, okay.
Hit
I
me with
help community. Can I say?
Yep.
I help community offenders access housing, food, and employment so they can rejoin society and live independently.
Very good. All right. How does that feel?
Good.
All right, you're going to say it a little differently this time.
Mm.
James, this one's for you. Read that one and see what you think. This time, I'm going to show you guys the power of the pause. And Sigrita, you've done this, so you're a little bit ahead, but I'm going to come back to you right at the end. Access housing.
Avoiding opportunity.
Okay. So every time you see a dot, I want you to pause for me, please. Barbara, there we go.
Okay. I help community offenders access housing, food, and employment so they can rejoin society and live independently.
Excellent. Everybody hear the difference between when she did it with the pauses and she did it without the pauses? Just read that first one again without pauses for me, please, Barbara.
I help community offenders access housing, food, and employment so they can rejoin society and live independently.
Good. Now you've slowed yourself down. The first time it sounded more like this. I help community offenders access housing, food, and employment so they can rejoin society and live independently. I'm like, there it went. So the pauses are super important. So practice that with the pauses. Take a little screenshot of that so you can do that. All right,
Okay.
James, let's hear yours.
I help men with low confidence stop avoiding opportunities so they can build better relationships, grow their careers, and live a more fulfilling life.
How does that feel?
Pretty good, but I could probably slow it down a little bit somewhere.
Okay, just think about the words for now. It's the words we want to do first.
Yep, yep.
So think, are any of those words uncomfortable on your tongue?
No, not on my tongue. Avoiding opportunities. Yeah, that could probably work. It's not what I had before. Let's see what I
Okay,
had.
so say it for me again out loud.
I help men with low confidence stop avoiding opportunities so they can build better relationships, grow their careers, and live a more fulfilling life.
Good, that sounds pretty good. Now do it with the pauses.
I help men with low confidence stop avoiding opportunities so they can build better relationships, grow their careers, and live a more fulfilling life.
Good. Can everybody hear the difference with the pauses there? Excellent. So one of the reasons I like to do this exercise after I have done the pause section, which we did last week, is because it gives you a real life example of what it looks like. Okay? Beautiful. So I know Emma and Miguel, we didn't kind of get to you guys, but you've got the gist of how it works. So going forward, we can jump in with you guys as well. So Barbara and James, Your job is to take your elevator pitch and memorize it. So it should be when somebody says, what do? You can do this with me. So let's see, James, you're unmuted, so ask me what I do.
What do you do, Danielle?
Thanks for asking, James. I help business owners and executives become compelling public speakers so they can attract more leads and grow their authority and their business. Right? It's business card
Nice.
size. So if you're a business owner and you want to attract more leads or grow your authority, you're like, oh, tell me more. Okay? So this is kind of like your teaser, your intro statement. So memorize this. And the best way to memorize it, handwrite it, because when you handwrite something, it engages more neural pathways in your brain. Put it in the bathroom next to your toothbrush. And before you brush your teeth, say your elevator pitch out loud with the pauses. So it becomes very familiar to you. Emma, as we go through and you get yourself kind of set up, you'll be able to develop an elevator pitch as we go. All right, so you've come in exactly the right time, because now you're going to learn how to overcome any bad habits. You'll be able to avoid them before you start. Fabulous. All right, so let's do a quick whiz around what we have found most valuable today. So we'll start with you, Badra, and then we'll go to Miguela. So Badra, what did you find most useful today?
So main thing, yes, I learned for last week as well, but this time I use it. So I feel that when I'm using it's more clear.
Yes, it is.
And my elevator pitch.
Fantastic. Well done. And so I might randomly call on you now, like I did with Sigrita, and say, what do you do? And you'll be able to tell me. Awesome. Miguela, what did you find most useful today? I know we didn't spend much time with you. Next time will be your go.
Most useful I found today is that pauses really is very important when you are saying something that you wanted your point to go through.
Yes. Excellent pickup, Miguela. So for you guys, I told you about pauses last week, right? And even Sigrita, we did this exercise earlier in the week. But when you hear somebody else do it, you can hear how it sounds to an audience. And that's a really powerful experience. Thank you for picking that up. All right, James and then Sigrita. So James, what did you find was most useful for you today?
Oh, it's just so good to slow it down and to really get it clear on exactly what I'm offering and how to present it in a succinct and positive manner.
Excellent. And that's
Can
it.
I use this? Can I use
Yeah,
this
that's
for my
yours.
15-second video?
Absolutely. That is yours. Take it and use it. Okay.
Thank you.
Sigrita, what did you find most useful today? And then I'll ask Emma.
I found it useful to see your process of thinking how to create that elevator pitch. So that was quite useful.
Great. Excellent. Fantastic. Emma, your first session, I believe. Welcome. Welcome. So I'm going to unmute yourself if you're able to and just share what you found most useful in your session today.
Yeah, thanks. I think for me, because I've heard of the elevator pitch concept before, but I have never used it.
Yep.
Because I haven't really had the chance yet, hopefully soon in the future. But I found really useful the pauses, especially. And I kind of need to rewire my own brain to think that the pauses are not an imposter there and that they have to be natural and they just cannot be like, oh, a random pause here and it just sounds awkward.
Yes.
Yeah.
And often we want to fill that silence because we get uncomfortable. But silence, ironically, is one of the most powerful tools we have as speakers. Crazy, right? Awesome. So I invite each of you now to go into the community, make a post about what you found most valuable. And in that post, please write down also what you are going to take action on this week. It might be practicing your elevator pitch. It might be practicing your pauses. Doesn't matter what it is. If you put it in a post in the community, it then creates accountability. And information without action is just procrastination. And I don't want you guys to procrastinate. Get out there and use it. Badra, are you in the community?
I'm getting email. So is that the one community means? Okay.
I think you are in the community, but I'm going to put the link in here just in case you aren't, because there are the resources you're going to miss out on if you're not in the community. There we go.
Okay.
So Badra and Miguela, that is the link to make sure you can put your posts up. And the more that you like and engage in the community, the higher up the leaderboard you go, and the higher up the leaderboard you go, the more free content you unlock. So this is a good way to get you started. So everybody have a good time today? Yes?
Yep.
Excellent. So next week we will be talking about emotion when we speak. And that's a really great session, how to bring emotion into your talk. So make sure you're here for that one next week, and I will see you all then. So wherever you are in the world, have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon, and I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Bye.
Bye.